magic. When you embrace these elevated emotions in this meditation, what you're actually doing is signaling your genes ahead of the environment. The body doesn't know the difference between an emotion created by an experience that you're having. You're having. Welcome, welcome. So the body doesn't know the difference between an emotion created by an experience that you're having in the outside environment, an experience that you are creating internally. So by embracing this new elevated emotion, when you embrace the elevated emotion and think thoughts that are greater than the self-limiting ones, you keep yourself stuck in the past. Your body begins to prepare chemically for the future because it thinks the future is happening now. In other words, if you do the meditation correctly enough times, the body responds as the healing or any condition that you're manifesting in your environment has already taken place. What's good? I'm reading Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural. Basically, I'm sort of connecting. There's actually a lot of pivotal moments where Joe Dispenza speaks about how, we in our experience, when we associate an elevated emotion with a thought, a thought of the future, our brain actually and our body doesn't know the difference, and we then basically experience that. Our whole nervous system and our body actually responds to it like it's happening presently. So let's see. I don't know, I just love this chapter. I opened up to a random chapter in this book and just kind of opened it open as we're here. So these elevated emotions, have a higher and faster frequency than the base emotions, like guilt, fear, jealousy, and anger. And since all frequency carries information, we can change the frequency. And when we change our frequency, we can change our energy. The new energy can then carry new information, a new consciousness, or a set of intentions or thoughts. The more elevated the emotion, the faster the frequency. And the more you feel like energy instead of matter. And the more energy becomes available to create a more coherent energy field. Beautiful. That's right, Joe. That's right, Joe Dispenza. Yo, thank you. I'm just dying here, low-key. Needs to drink more water. This is your sign from the universe to drink more water. It's your sign to drink more water. Yeah, the phenomenal book, though. I highly recommend. Highly recommend. Oh, word. Laser focused champion. Then yeah, you know what's up. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. Beautiful book. Welcome, friends. Welcome to this live stream. Not familiar with him or the book. Can you give me a TDLR? I can try, brother, but honestly, I actually speak of this openly on this channel quite frequently. Basically, what Joe Dispenza is speaking of in Becoming Supernatural, he speaks of various core things. Like Joe Dispenza, if you're not familiar, he himself had a chronic spinal injury. A debilitating spinal injury, where basically doctors told him that he was not going to return from this injury. He was basically going to be debilitated for the rest of his life. And he's also a physician. And what a lot of Joe Dispenza did is he basically used the awareness of studying metaphysical philosophy, metaphysical concepts, that is, learning about the quantum, learning about, things beyond the mind, and he bridged worlds with modern medicine, his modern physician study. And basically what Joe Dispenza figured out is there's actual scientific evidence to prove how we can heal our bodies with our mind. And that's the basis of what I was kind of explaining in this book. There's various parts of it where he's basically explaining our relationship with the quantum, because basically what Joe Dispenza does is now he devotes his life to teaching people to heal their bodies with their mind, be it various types of illnesses, chronic debilitating things. It's powerful stuff, but the core thing you can take away, that I take away from it, I've only read like 40% of this book, is Joe Dispenza is basically speaking about how the quantum the quantum is scientifically what we are. The quantum particles is what we're made of, right? And this is what I love to talk about on this channel, actually, just randomly. Is we ourselves are made up of quantum particles. Quantum particles are present everywhere. Quantum particles are 99.999% repeated empty space. It's empty matter. It's formless. It's unwritten. It is in the unknown. The material world is 0.000001 repeated. That is what the material world is. That's what we can see, we grasp, what we feel, what our sensory experience is the material world. The 99.99% repeated is in the unknown. It is beyond the known mind. And again, the material world is the known. And the idea is the more that we can truly begin to comprehend this. Interesting. I just had a friend sort of reach out to ask me about choline. But yeah, but long story short, brothers and sisters that are watching this, if you're interested, this is basically Joe Dispenza's talking. He's very much scratching the surface of metaphysical philosophy. Very beautiful stuff. Again, I speak about this very actively on this channel, so yeah, I'll talk of this once again, but I was just reading a little segment for that. Book is cool. Have you read The State and Revolution? I have not. That's actually, if it has relevant or similar concepts, then I feel like I must look into that at some point. This book is cool, but you have read, yes. You look like Adelson Rao from infamous Second Son. It's not an insult. Oh yeah, that sounds like high praise. Thank you, brother. Yeah, that's cool though. I gotta check that out. So Delson Rowe. I actually feel like I'm, for some reason, familiar with that. Someone may have. I don't know. I get told I look like a lot of people, like rappers, musicians, actors. And yeah, it's all high praise. So thank you. Thank you. Watch any good films lately? Yes. I mean, someone recommended August Rush. Naturally, I've seen August Rush. I watched it last week. So that was dope as fuck. August Rush is dope. I mean, for some reason, everyone on this channel, they constantly recommend me August Rush because, you know, I'm a guitarist. And I just, like, I know how to play, like, fingerstyle, like slap harmonics. That's what I specialize in. So it's like, that was pretty cool. I gotta say, I really love that movie. But, yeah, man, I've been rewatching Justified. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's from, like, I think it was released in, like, 2010 or 15, but, yeah, Justified. Oh, looks like my toner app's a little glitched out. Justified is basically this series that's really well made, really interesting acting. Let's see, this is kind of glitched out right here. Toner amp's a little busted here, but yeah, yes. I am. Which state am I from? I'm in British Columbia, Canada, my dog. Yeah, so Canada. Yes. Whoa. Yeah, but I highly recommend if you guys are into really good acting. It's like a series, but Justified. I don't know why I've been like really stoked on that. Whoa. My tonal amp is glitching out. This is crazy. Well, we'll have to find another chord for that. But yeah, welcome to this live stream. If you're new here, watch any good films of that. Can you play that flute? Of course. This is why I'm here. You know, actually, I was here earlier. I was doing a live stream, and then my partner, she came over, so I was just like, did a short stream. But That was chill as fuck. I was literally just talking about this pan flute, doing pan flute stuff for the greater betterment of this like 20-minute period. And that was chill. You have a cool voice. Do you play video games? Not really, man. I'm a performance artist, so I do a lot of like dance and music, and I've been, a YouTuber, so I'm doing YouTuber stuff. But that being said, I don't play video games anymore, but I play one video game sometimes, called Guns the Duel. I don't know if you guys are familiar. This is like, if you guys are familiar, you're a legend immediately in my books. But there's a game called Guns the Duel that's getting re-released actually. They're right now, what's the word? Manga Soft or whatever. They're like a company. They're remaking Guns the Duel. And strangely enough, I'm not a gamer anymore, but when I had a best friend when I was in elementary school that was Korean, and he showed me this game Guns the Duel when I was like 10 years old. And then as a 12-year-old, I became obsessed with this game. So I basically mastered this game called Guns the Duel. So I played that game sometimes out of pure nostalgia, but it's crazy because Guns the Duel is getting re-released, and I'm one of the few people that's insanely hyped for this game. Yeah. You interested in super niche music? Look up Rosa, absolutely, dog, or Miss Palestine, Rosa Palestina by Umberto Fiora. Wow. Wow. Some interesting recommendations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Proletarian. What's good, Jen? In your big 0 face. I haven't even made those kind of faces since I was like 11 years old. Are you in PG? Nah, bruv. I'm in British Columbia. Yes, brother. Top hat slaps. I agree. Yo, I know. And you know what's even crazy? Like the aesthetic. Some people, like the 1% that chime in, are just like, yo, like what's going on with the top hat? But it's like the pan flute and the guitar domain and this thing. This completes the thing. It's like, now it makes sense, right? Now it makes sense. I have a top hat, but I'm also doing illusions and playing a pat. It all makes sense now, right? Yeah, no, I love this instrument. It's great. Welcome. I'd rather play video games and keep my brain active than scroll on social media. That's phenomenal, brother. That is snow squirrel. Honestly, I commend that. See, we're all about, on this channel and in general in life, it's about dopaminergic regulation, right? It's about dopamine. It's about understanding your relationship with dopamine, right? It's about if you're desiring to step outside of that dopaminergic programming, just like, okay, social media, scrolling, you're addicted in some sense where this unconscious programming is really, it's really just latched on. I think there's nothing inherently wrong with maybe introducing some sort of thing like a video game. But I mean, personally, I just play the guitar most of my day. I read a lot of books. I go for runs, do cold plunges, but yeah, dog. If you're as long as you're using some dimension of awareness. I don't know. I think for me, for video games, I'm fortunate. I've been a musician for many, many years. So for me, it's like my video game is music, and also I'm also a dancer. I'm like a tutter. So for me, that's my version of video games. But yeah, man, it's honestly, if it works. I'd rather play video games. Yeah. But honestly, dog, I think that's a whole nother problem. Like, video games are not right. It's like, I speak of this very openly on this channel. Obviously, we're indoctrined into like this wild, bizarre dimension of programming, right? We're a lot of us. We're just like, if not all of us, especially in this generation. I'm 31, but for the younger generation, we're like indoctrined, or they're indoctrined, right, into this insane, highly addictive, dopaminergic loop, this dopamine siphon, right? And very simply, like without even going too deep into the neurochemistry of it, we as human beings, right? On a deep level, we desire to connect. We desire connection. We desire intimacy. We desire authenticity. We desire many things, right? And I think what's bizarre about social media is it's creating this like endless loop where we think we want to communicate. We want to communicate. We want to connect. We want to be present with each other. But we're not really conscious of this weird fragmented loop that social media is reinforcing. And the simplest right, we as human beings, we need to honor authentic connection, and we need to unify with each other. We need to use these platforms, these smartphones, to actually connect authentically with each other, right? We need to penetrate the conditioning. It's what we really want on an unconscious level, right? We want to use this very same uh, device, this programming, this technology, to empower ourselves, to connect, to unify. And this is actually my quest as a YouTuber. This is what it's been for me in a solo capacity, but also on a deeper level. It's like, I really strongly believe in this. You can do this too, right? If you're a person watching this and you desire to be a creator, to develop a empowered, authentic relationship with, these devices, it comes down to just penetrating that conditioning, right? Can you use the labyrinth? Can you use labyrinth, that ball, crystal ball? I don't know what you mean by that, bro, but this is a contact juggle ball that is a crystal. And yeah, you can just do illusions. That's kind of the whole fun part of it, is like, you can do these illusions, these isolation tricks. It's very fun. But it looks even better when you're at like raves and stuff. But yeah, it's fun. Your shirt is trippy. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. This shirt is actually a gift. It was a gift from a good friend of mine. So it's very special to me. I'm under pressure to get sleep, but I've not been able to sleep much lately. Word. Well, welcome. Welcome, environment. That sucks, brother. I mean, I would say there's a many different ways you can understand sleep, sleep deprivation. Personally, I'm a massive advocate of ashwagandha. I don't know if you're familiar with ashwagandha. And particularly, I'm a massive fan of microdosing ashwagandha. I also take Damiana. And the thing with both ashwagandha and Damiana is these are very natural herbs that you can dose very low and very frequently, and they're actually very good for sleep. Damiana doesn't do anything to make you fall asleep, but it helps deepen your sleep. It's actually a very subtle dream herb. And ashwagandha can help you regulate your adrenals, but it's also for a deepening of your sleep quality. I mean, falling asleep, that's a whole nother thing. You gotta adjust your rhythm. You gotta, let your body and your mind calm down. You gotta honor your sleep and your circadian rhythm and your light rhythm. But 1000% ashwagandha and Damiana is what I take consistently. And it's very good. It honestly helps deeply. David Bowie, that thing. I don't know what that means, dog, but yes. Yes. I don't know if you guys know that theme. That's Last Samurai. Yeah. Talking is hard. I'm bad with words even online. Word. I agree the short form of content on a new level. I agree the short form content is on a new level. Never seen so much people consumed and distracted by something like this before. Interesting. That's an interesting point, Snow Squirrel. Yeah, brother. I agree 100%. Short format content, like, I'm a content creator, right? I've been a YouTuber the last 8 months. I love YouTube. I think YouTube is a very unique portal because it's not just a social media platform. It's not like TikTok. TikTok sucks. You're just hashtag YouTube. I don't know. I don't think YouTube listens, but yeah, nah, bro. I think YouTube is a very special community, right? This is why I desire to be a YouTuber. This is why I'm growing a YouTube channel. I really feel good about YouTube. But you're right, there is, no matter where we go, these larger corporations, these social media platforms, they're gamifying and they are creating a randomized dopamine loop that is creating addiction. Beyond just creating addiction, it's not even creating, it's perpetuating addiction. You see, it's like you go on social media like Facebook or something, right? And you scroll through a thing, or I don't use TikTok, but if you're going TikTok, absolutely they trigger the same thing. They're convincing your brain to become addicted to a randomized burst of instant gratifying dopamine, right? There, immediately, your brain is being hardwired to believe that around the corner, there's another burst of dopamine. That is horrendously bad for your neurochemistry. And fundamentally, let's be real here, real life does not operate in that way. Dopamine, on a real, organic level, does not operate. Healthy dopamine does not operate in a randomized burst of gamified, instant gratifying, sort of like a casino slot machine style. That's not how dopamine is meant to be experienced. So when you go on social media or you go on some sort of platform where you're scrolling through and you're like, all right, well, maybe the next one will be a good reel, that's horrendous for your dopamine. Like, this is really the truth. I've come to this conclusion many, many times. When studying and understanding my own dopaminergic programming, when stepping outside of it. And yeah, the simple truth of the matter is, yes, a lot of us need to take social media breaks. Yes, a lot of us need to actually like take breaks from your phone. Like if you're on this phone and you're operating of unconscious programming, I highly recommend that you take a step away. This is your sign to shut off your phone, take a moment, take a breather, get some water, just let yourself be present, because the reality of it is, yeah, it's like, a lot of us do on the deepest level. You may not even realize this is a harrowing thing I remember sitting with is, you realize that you're being so successfully programmed that even if you knew for a fact, oh, I need to take a break from my phone, or oh, I need to put down my phone, or take a social media break, you're so successfully programmed and manipulated that you're going to convince yourself let's not do that. You'll justify, even to a point where you're looping self-destructive patterns, or you're finding yourself fragmented and even struggling, right? You'll be like, okay, well, let's not actually separate ourselves. And only when you actually take a conscious step away, like say you take a social media break, right? Or you take a phone break, this is when you will see with clarity what is going on with this programming. And it's, again, I want to be very clear. It's like I speak of this very openly on this channel, is the real world is the real world. It's very important to understand the role of the real world, of experiencing human beings with all the micro expressions and the interactive dimensions of it. The real world it's sacred, it's real, it's impossible to replace. And when people operate on some sort of delusion where they try to associate these clear substitutions for the real world, that is your phone, that is social media, these things were never meant to be regarded as the real world, right? They were never meant to be this way. And when we lose touch with the fundamental role of what it means to interact with a human being in the real world, how unique this is, how to communicate in this domain in the real world, and we try to then associate this, unconsciously with, say, the social media realms, this is where so much fragmentation occurs. I understand that, Jen. I think most times it's their own fears. You're probably better. Absolutely. Yeah, I'd say I appreciate you sharing that, Jen. I'm going to take a step inside because it's actually pretty cold out here, but I'm going to go inside my miniature side room. Welcome, friends. Well, let's just grab some of these things. But no, I mean, absolutely, I agree, and I want to touch deeper on sort of what I feel is really important for sort of a core reason why I became a YouTuber. And this isn't the simplest, right? I feel it's really important to exercise the means of learning to communicate, learning to really just practice the art of communicating, learning to really just return to this core realization that our voice matters. And I'll be honest, I've been practicing this very actively. I've spent the last several plus years really just desiring to be a content creator, a YouTuber, namely. And I basically had this powerful epiphany right around COVID time, right? Where I realized that I desired to be a YouTuber, and I was doing a lot of magic mushrooms, and I would go in the forests and spend many hours, and I would write music and spend most of my day really just connecting and conceptualizing, reflecting. And I basically had this epiphany where I took my camera, my DSLR,
and I began to record myself. This was like the pivotal moment about 7, 8 years ago when I realized, I was like, you know what? I think I want to be a YouTuber. And what I did from this point on, this is when the pandemic was in uh, full action or full fledged. And I spent like 3, 4 hours every single day for about 7 months. I would record and then I would just record and just speak. I would pull these threads. I would openly communicate anything I desired to communicate. I'd be psychoanalyzing, I'd be philosophizing. And I did this again for 7, 8 months. And this endlessly opened up this huge portal where I basically, in the simplest way, I recognized how powerfully important it is to learn to communicate your truth to yourself, to hold space for yourself, to learn to exercise the ability to communicate. And this is the thing I speak of this very openly on this channel about many elements of where I feel like what happens when people neglect just the simple action or expression of learning to communicate, of just expressing their truth. Because this is the thing I love to really emulate. It's what I really feel is important is authentically communicating our truth. Anyways, yeah, I'm going off on a beautiful tangent here. I like valerian root and magnesium. Magnesium is a phenomenal. Like I really like. I used magnesium glycinate for a while, but then I recently transitioned to magnesium bitartrate because I found it was actually a lighter form. Kratom. Kratom is I don't know, bro. I've never used it. I've researched it and heard a lot about it. It's a slippery slope, but I don't know. Whoa. I'm gonna send you, my friend, on your way. Yeah, have you lost your chatting rights? Hippo, whatever, for 10 minutes, brother. Studies have actually found scrolling triggers the same part of your brain as pulling slot machine. That's exactly it. It's the exact study that I'm really reflecting or yeah, that I'm really expanding off of. Yeah. Look like a pimp. That's crazy, dude. I've never in my life thought that. And maybe an 80s rock star, but I don't know about a pimp, brother. Yeah. Hmm. Wow. Damn, dude. COVID wasn't 8 years ago. Bro, I think you're not. COVID wasn't 8 years. It was COVID, bro. What are you talking about? COVID was like 6, 7 years ago. Yeah, I mean, don't quote me on that, but COVID was surely like several years ago. Yeah, I can say, yeah. Like the start of COVID, like the absolute starting of COVID was 1000% 7 years ago. I don't know if I said exactly 7, 8 years, roughly, but yeah. This is it, brother. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is just the whole stream, just this ball, this crystal ball. No, I don't know. Yo, thank you. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. That's good, Temple Lion. Yeah, it's funny. I found myself. I've been doing a few streams today. Like I did a lengthy stream, and then I was doing a short stream. And then my partner, she came over, and I basically just held space where we just connected, listened to tons of music, and basically was just like memeing it up. I was like laughing my ass off about basically like poking holes in the film industry because she also works in the film industry, and we were both just like laughing our ass off. Just like I don't even remember half the shit we're saying. It was, it was incredible. And then now it's like nice and low at night, and we're just here. Sig Fushigi. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Yeah. I love this thing actually. It's funny, like I've had a few friends that are very good at this. Actually, my one friend, he's a performance artist, and this is his primary prop. And for years, he's been like trying to teach me this. But I only recently just discovered, I was, you know what? I really actually understand. Like last year, I had a friend gift me this, and I just had it with me everywhere. And I started just do this when I was just chilling on SkyTrains, hanging at home, and then I instantly was just like, man, I get it. Like I understand really just how beautiful this is. Like the illusionary element, the means of influencing with every movement. There's such an interesting way. You have to control the movement. You have to keep it controlled, but you can create such interesting illusions. But it requires control. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's independent studio. Breaking all the norms in the industry. Right. Nice. That's the way, man. If you're gonna do something, 1000% that's the way. That being said, of course, if you're referring any by any means about the film industry that I'm speaking of, I'm speaking about the industry, brother. Like I'm speaking about the acting industry. And yeah, that's a massive, massive industry. There's a million different professionals all coming together, making magic happen, and I love it. Like freaking everything about it. Directors, costume, wardrobe, actors, this, that, the other. Million different moving pieces all coming together to create what you see, and it's beautiful. It's a powerful community. Of course, I think content creation is beautiful too. I think entrepreneurialism is actually life changing. Just spitting the ball. What instruments do I play? I play guitar, electric and acoustic. I play pan flute, brother. I play lots of piano. Yeah. And I vocalize. Those are my primary focuses. I'd also love to get an electric cello, a violin, and yeah, there's so many instruments. There's so many instruments I'd love to get into, but my primary is I'm a guitarist. That's what this channel is kind of devoted to. Is I teach people guitar, and I do meditative journeys with guitar. Whoa. uh, simplicity. I'm gonna grab my guitar though. Bass guitar. My dad has a bass guitar I sometimes borrow, but I don't really play much bass guitar. No. I'm gonna grab my guitar actually. Let's just yeah. Yeah, it's kind of late. It's late at night though, so I can't make too much noise. Would you be open for a music collaboration someday? Quite possibly, yeah. I'm pretty open to collaboration as a whole, yeah. I mean, as far as YouTube goes right now, I'm very much focused on, like, I've kind of made this caveat is a lot of I have people in the real world, like friends, partners, people of various types that I'm right now wanting to focus on collaborating with and kind of navigating the waters. But I feel that once I'm a little bit more established in my YouTube realm and in my intention, I'm definitely open to just, collaborating left, right, and center. And I think too, in the simplest, right, as dimensions of collaboration, it's like I have people like friends that I've known for literally years that I desire to collaborate with, that I desire to connect with, collaborate YouTube stuff, collaborate music. And I've been pursuing YouTube, for 8 months now. So not very long. I'm a very new YouTuber. So I think only naturally I want to like honor these people in my life that I've connected with. I want to collaborate, connect, you know, do things with them in my community. That's my emphasis. But in the future, hell yeah. Do you like each other? Do you like Escher? What? Do you like Escher with your sphere? Wait, what? I don't know what you mean by that, bruv. But check this out. I think I'm a little bit out of tune here. Just a little bit right out of tune. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Heck yeah. Esther was an artist. Was an artist. Esther. Can't see the thing is very Esther. Okay, I see. Interesting. Interesting. Never heard of this. Never heard of this. Right. Seems like my sound is a little bit altered. You guys probably can't tell the difference, but it's irking. It's irking me. Welcome to this live stream. Let's refresh. Ah, interesting. Favorite music genre? Wow. I mean, that's a tricky one. I guess universally say I'm very into psychedelic rock, punk rock, alternative rock, especially alternative rock. But those are all genres I create. But I also am very into acoustic fingerstyle. You could say progressive rock, like modern percussive fingerstyle, kind of stuff like Andy McKee, stuff like John Gom. Some stuff I also sort of create. I'm also very into Estas Ton, but I also listen to tons of electronic music, like really beautiful, intricate, melodic kind of bass music. Because I'm also a dancer, like I'm a tutter. So I listen to tons of that stuff, like beautiful underground bass music. And there's tons of it, like stuff like Atya, stuff like Arenda, stuff like Saturna, stuff that's like almost like I couldn't even describe it. It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. What is the craziest trip you've ever experienced? Trip, eh? Like altered state? I mean, man, I've had many, many, many crazy trips. But if you're talking about like trips in general, as in reality, like just fun life experience, I've also had lots of those as well. But dead ass, 5149, brother. Off to acupuncture. That's beautiful. Thank you for stopping by, brother. Hope you have a great acupuncture. Amazing, yeah, acupuncture session. I know my partner, she does acupuncture a lot. She tells me it's crazy. She sometimes just like floats off into like visions. That's very cool. Did some real cool shit upside down the staircase and weird architecture. Interesting. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, but to Floyd, I mean, man, craziest trip. The craziest. I don't know, dog. Very, I must say, probably if I'm gonna be really forthcoming on like what I would say the craziest trip intuitively I've ever had. If we're talking about psychedelics conquests. And again, there's so many, bro. I can't, that's difficult to try to compare, but I would say the very first one I ever did was very intense. Like I spoke of this on my stream previously where basically the very first time I did mushrooms when I was about 15 and a half, I did 7 grams. I don't know, this was just an executive decision. I bought 14 grams with my one friend. We split them down just down. We did 7 grams each, and we soaked them in lemon juice and did 7 grams each. I don't know. This was the kind of teenager I was. I don't know. This was the move. So I did 7 grams, and yeah, damn, good times. Not insane. If you have any familiar with mushrooms, 7 grams is a lot of mushrooms. But me, when I was 15, I didn't know shit. I'd like smoked weed, used nicotine here and there, did MDMA a little bit, but I had no idea what mushrooms were. So I was like, yeah, I knew what I knew about magic mushrooms was from the movie Tenacious D. When Jack Black's character, he does some mushrooms and they go off into this colory cartoon land. I was like, oh, that's probably magic mushrooms. Okay. And so I did these 7 grams, and that was insane. Like that experience, um, I remember very particular blips from this experience. But I know I've done many, many, many mushrooms since then, but I've never done 7 grams since then. But basically, as I recall, there was a distinct moment where, as I remember the mushrooms were kicking in, my center of gravity basically shifted. It felt like my whole center of body, my center of gravity, it shifted to about my knees. So then I remember this wave of energy kind of hit my body, and I just kind of fell, like went backwards. I was like, kind of just fell into to the floor and was just chilling there. I was like, okay. And I'm like, this is cool. And then I remember vividly there was a distinct moment where I started to see this hue of purple. I remember seeing this hue of purple, and then everything had this beautiful shade of purple. And then I started to I was like, I don't know why. I just told myself, well, everything is now blue. And then everything had this beautiful shade of blue. And I was like, okay. And I remember kind of thinking like, this is okay. This is what's happening. And then eventually, um, I don't know. I remember I was looking at a blanket, and this blanket started to like morph and move around, and then I don't know. There's a lot that went on this trip. Honestly, in a simple context, eventually I was in a very colorful, rapidly shifting uh, psychedelic experience where I remember every single little blip where I would look, I would see a different dimension. This is how I could try to describe it. It was like every dimension of my view, my visual perception was a different dimension. That is, it was a different rapidly morphing color scheme that felt like it was a different dimension. So this is what I remember happening at the peak of this beautiful magic mushroom experience. And then, yeah, then as I recall, I tried to go to sleep because I was like, all right, I got to work tomorrow. This is when I worked at Tim Hortons. I was a 15-year-old. I was like, oh yeah, I got to go to work tomorrow morning. And I basically took these mushrooms at like 11 o'clock at night. I had no idea how mushrooms worked. I thought I was just gonna do the trip and go to sleep. Didn't realize that that's not how mushrooms worked. And then I basically tried to go to sleep, failed to try to go to sleep, and then I experienced ego death, where I woke up, everything was deleted. Like I had no perception of what anything was. I picked up a bottle of Coca-Cola, like Coca-Cola bottle. I remember I was like, what the fuck is Coca-Cola? Like I was looking, I was like, what is Coca-Cola? And then at that point, I kind of flipped out and was like, okay. I was like, this is insane. I was like, this is fucked. And then that's when I went up to my friend. Yeah, I do not like the Japanese. What? Wow. Dude, really? You can't be serious, bro. Japanese are incredible. You serious? You can't, bro. Japanese are incredible beings. Their culture is beautiful. I think that immediately grants you an immediate. I don't know what else you got to say, but I'm gonna boot you out of this channel. Goodbye. Goodbye, dog. Well, 24-hour lockout, brother. We like Japanese culture and people on this channel. Get the fuck out of here. DBI Extreme. First time, 7 and citric. Yeah. I Yeah, homie asked about the craziest drug psychedelics. That was the facts. I don't know. I don't know, bro. This this says a lot. This says a lot about how I was as a teenager. I was a very compulsive, uh, no fucks kind of dude, and it worked out beautifully. If you're new to this channel, welcome. This is, but yeah, my first experience, 7 grams of mushrooms. It's great. It's great. I don't know. But anyways, long story short, ego death. Experience ego death. was like, whoa, what's going on? I went to my one friend who also did the 7 grams of mushrooms. And basically, this is where he approached me. He was like, it's all good, brother. We took mushrooms. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's all gonna be okay. We're gonna wake up tomorrow and everything's gonna be normal. And I was like, ah. And I was like, damn, that's wow, that's true. And then eventually, then we basically went. Then this is the point where me and my good friend of mine. This is a friend of mine we'd had for like 6 years, and we were good friends. And he basically, we sit down, we start just talking. We start talking about life. We start talking about everything. We're talking about our past, talking about, perceptions of this, philosophy. We went off, we talked for like all night. We literally talked in the most powerful, I would say, self aware, emotionally intelligent way the entire night. And this is when I immediately realized what mushrooms were. I was like, oh, this is the magic in magic mushrooms. It's the neural connectivity. So long story short, yeah, that was the whole experience. I mean, again, a lot happened that I clearly didn't remember. I couldn't remember with 7 grams. But yeah, at the end of it, I had peace and clarity. I spent the entire night extracting all these beautiful, you know, neural circuitry realms. And then eventually me and my friend just, yeah, just went on with the world. I don't know what this is, but sign me up. Nice. 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 Absolutely, brother. I got you. I got you on the list. I got you. So there you go. There you go, Doc. You're on there. I ate mushrooms that were growing by the trees in front of my house. Huh. Nice. I don't know if that's the plan. I don't know if that's the move, but it's all good. Follow me, Camille B. Interesting. Interesting. I'll keep this in mind. I don't know. Is that an Instagram? I imagine. I don't know. Seven, bro. That's the thing is, I've done magic mushrooms. I'm 31, right? I've done magic mushrooms for a long time. Like in the last 16 years, I've done lots and lots of mushrooms. I've never done 7 grams. That was a that was a move that was I don't know. I can't say it was wise, but it worked out. It worked out very well for me. I haven't done really any drugs per se of any sort in 11 years. Like I've been sober. I'm like a perfect quintessential example of a sober guy. I sometimes do changa, I sometimes do magic mushrooms, but strangely enough, that was a beautiful foundation for a deep realm of awareness that awakened when I was 15. So yeah. Welcome, welcome Katerina. Instagram. Beautiful. Interesting. Sure, sure. I got you, Camille. I got you. I'll follow you. I don't know why Brazilians like to do that. They like to just drop their contacts and connect. But hey, I got you. Blessings from Canada. Sending love to Brazil. Sending love to Brazil. After that Adderall trip story. Whoa. I remember when I was unhealthy, there was a period where I didn't eat for like 9 days. Huh. Wow. Yeah, bro. Adderall's it's not the move. Like, let's be real here. I have a great awareness of how Adderall works. I know people that engage in it. I mean, I have ADHD, so Adderall to me, I'm sure would just medicate me, but I'm a strong believer that we should not medicate ourselves. And Adderall is I don't know. It's a true drug. Where do you get Changa? See, that's the thing. That's the thing, brothers and sisters, is Changa is very difficult to find. It's infamously difficult to find. But basically, Changa, you can grow it if you learn how to grow the boa vine and extract the Changa and then go through the process of, yeah, extracting it and creating the Changa blend. But Changa is very difficult to find. Yeah. I've been trying to find some myself for the last little while. I woke up with my face beaten. Wow. Uh, huh. Do you get Changa online or is it legal where you're at? That's a no and no. You cannot purchase Changa online. And it's not legal. Technically, it's not legal. No DMT is legal. But yeah, I don't know. Changa, again, Changa is a plant form of DMT that they take the boa vine and they usually like soak it in a DMT mixture or they take the bovine and they mixed it with MAOI inhibitors, so Hermala alkaloids. The stuff that it's a similar mixture as ayahuasca, but they make it in such a way where you can smoke it. It's very rare though. It's very rare. You got to know people that know how to very carefully extract and create this concentration. Again, I have friends of friends who are like usually people that like grow mushrooms or are very familiar with like medicine and like ancient medicines. These are people usually that know how to grow it and extract it. It's very difficult to meet these people. That's the things. I had a couple friends that were friends of friends that grew some masterful changa, and that's what I experienced over the years, but I haven't actually had an access to changa for some time now. I hope you find them, so I hope you find some though, my brother. Yeah, that's unfortunate, Floyd. And all I can say is, well, to Hunter, I hope you learn. You know, I hope you can extract a lesson, like a true lesson from that. Cause, yeah, I don't know, dog. Yeah, I'm also VHD and don't believe in meds. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is a thing. This is a deeply rolling rabbit. I can speak about this. You know, when I'm full of caffeine tomorrow, I would love to go deeper into this very dimension. But long story short, yeah, ADHD medication, it's a slippery slope. We as human beings, we do have the ability to organically integrate our neurochemistry, to learn about our bodies and our minds, and honor our health. Medication, it can be a beautiful thing that helps you transition, you know, helps you gain awareness, helps you gain momentum neurochemically in your life. But a lot of people don't fundamentally understand just how limiting being on a medication actually is. How it's like you're trying to, it's almost like a lot of pharmacology does. It's trying to, you know, put a band aid, give you some sort of means of treating the symptom opposed to treating the underlying condition. And it's very problematic, very problematic. Jungle spice. Acacia trees are good teachers. Mmm. Some meds seem like poison. Absolutely. I mean, yeah. It's a deeply woven route. I could speak about, you know, the just the importance of integrating an organic way of healing the mind. Like the body is a very intelligent thing. You know, it has an extraordinary ability to heal itself. And I'm sure in modern society where we're all deeply manipulated and programmed, yes, there may be an application to apply something like a medication. You know, if you have no other way, you know, to build momentum and to really come back from a very horrendous, tumultuous place, then maybe. But the body and the mind has an incredible ability to heal itself. And I feel like a lot of people, they try to favor a quick fix, some sort of immediate, you know, action or reaction, opposed to actually just taking the time it takes to integrate long-term healing or long-term remedies. It's a very crazy rabbit hole. But as a guy that hasn't been on medications, you know, for most of my life, like I haven't been on medications. I was on them for like 2 years when I was 15, but I've been sober for 11 years, you know, and I love and honor certain things like shrooms here and there. But I'm like a classic example of a dude who's just sober. I just get high off of creating music, off of dance, off of energy, training, strength training, all these different parallels. Yeah. We are guinea pigs until they find the right mix. Nice. Wow. Damn, John. You really got me there, bro. You've just fired your empty blanks. Thanks for sharing, bruv. Yeah, until they find the right mix. Sometimes the right mix is never found. Yeah, see, that's the thing. T Ray Ray, Rai Rai, Brown. See, this is the thing is, yeah, you're correct. You're correct on every front. And this is the thing. You know, it's late at night. I don't want to go off on a crazy intellectualized tangent, but the fact of the matter is, you see, the reason you take a medication, the reason you try to medicate yourself, you try to take even a supplement protocol or some sort of neurochemical shift, you're trying to evoke a neurochemical shift, is you're trying to learn about the mind. and the body. You're trying to learn about the relationship with the mind and the body. You're trying to study or be a student of health science, of neurochemistry. These are the things you're trying to do, and if you've failed to do so, even when you're medicating yourself with a medication, you're not supposed to just take a medication unconsciously and go, okay, it's fixed me. No, you're supposed to actually study and be experimental. You're supposed to be discerning with how this is impacting your neurochemistry. And the thing is, you don't need to be on a medication to do this. You can learn to integrate a healthy neurochemistry, a healthy health science, a healthy relationship with health science, like a healthy diet protocol, a healthy supplement protocol. Like, you can be a student of the body and the mind. This is the core mechanism that is the reason why people take medications. They're trying to learn about their body and their mind. They're trying to optimize their neurochemistry. This is why you take serotogenetics, why you take various medications, right? Of these kind of, we're talking about antidepressants per se. So yeah, very simply, a lot of people, they don't realize that it won't make a difference whether you're on a medication or not if you're not intelligent enough to be experimental, to integrate and learn about your neurochemistry and learn about your body. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of massive shifts. It takes a lot of things to work in succession to have a healthy mind. And taking a medication alone will surely not do this. Yeah. The placebo effect proves the power of the mind. Yeah. Placebo effect is beautiful. I'm a strong advocate of understanding. And the placebo effect, I think, is like, it's a beautiful thing because it's a psychological and a neurological phenomena that actually explains and helps connect the dots between many, many, much deeper parallels of how we understand the energetic body. Things, basically, we have the ability to influence our mind, our body, our thoughts, everything in such a powerful level to such a profound degree. The placebo effect is just the beginning. It's just scratching the surface of trying to really connect this and articulate this. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Yeah, no, to Floyd, I know you, I don't know, brother. I feel like to Floyd, to Hunter, I feel like you'd benefit strongly, brother, from trying to find other individuals, maybe support groups, or like a Reddit forum, maybe that's a support group that's supporting people that are in your experience, that are trying to shed light on things of your nature, like schizophrenia, because this is obviously, you're not alone, my dog. Like, honestly, I can only imagine the difficulty of trying to navigate those waters and make sense of and trying to share these things in a safe space. But surely there are safe spaces. Hell, I would be as apt to say there probably is support groups of individuals such as yourself, like safe spaces where there's literally a room full, or just like a group, a community of people that are literally there to try to basically help facilitate a healthy perspective on people dealing with things like schizophrenia. Like 1000%. Like, I would say is, you say this, you sometimes, I remember you like to share that you don't feel comfortable sharing, what you're feeling, and that's okay, brother. Feel free. I'm not going to judge you. I don't think anyone here is really going to judge you, but realize this is a public domain. This is our community here, so it's not like a complete public domain, but realize there are safe spaces where people literally, these are safe spaces literally designed for people that are trying to make sense of exactly what you're trying to make sense of. So I don't know, I'd recommend, if that exists, maybe try to find safe spaces like support groups to talk about things you're experiencing related to, things like schizophrenia, brother, because that exists. And I think it would greatly help you put these things in perspective. And honestly, again, there's no judgment. You can share whatever you feel you need to share, but I think there's other places that are genuinely facilitating and helping what you're feeling. I have fun fingers. Nice. Thank you. I do. My hands are everything. I love my hands. You speak of things that appear to have very little time into understanding. Interesting. I gave you a chance for a couple days, and you just took much blah blah blah. Interesting. BB Tuning, weren't you the dude that literally just commented like some sort of like blatant ignorant thought? Yeah. Honestly, thank you. Thank you, BB Tune or whatever. It's a little late at night to deal with delusional trolls, but it's okay. It's okay, BB Tune. I know you literally just tried to basically gaslight me and manipulate because this is what I think you're going on, BB Tune, is you're trying to you're trying to flip your narrative, pretending like you're actually trying to control the narrative. You're doing a basic 101 manipulator tactic. So thank you, BB Tune. You're not a viewer. You're not my audience. You're not my target audience. So I've disconnected your ability to comment. Do not return to this channel. You're not welcome here, friend. Thank you. But thank you for yeah, sharing whatever you're sharing. I do as a part of my treatment therapy. That's good. That's good, dog. That's good. Yeah. I don't know, bro. I don't even remember. Baby Tune is one of the weird 1% of trolls that pop on my channel that I somehow didn't immediately ban. And then I remember he commented on one of my videos saying something like, what he said. He said, "You're not a part of the emerging, the new world, the new emerging world." And I almost thought he was trolling. I was like, "Oh, you're not a part of the new." He commented this on a video I was teaching about slap harmonics. So to that point, I was like, this dude, I think he's confused. But then he just dropped a comment saying that something about he's been giving it a few days. For some reason, he's been giving it days, chiming into a channel that's about teaching people guitar and talking about XYZ this. And I guess he says that what I'm saying is, he defines so much shit of this, that. He's basically trying to gaslight me. That's literally what he just did. And I don't know. I'm surprised. Again, I didn't capture his weird presence and ban him already, but c'est la vie. Welcome to YouTube 2026. People of all different strange backgrounds will be on this channel. No, definitely having support is key. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, beyond absolutely, like you deserve, like Floyd Hunter, you deserve support, like in the deepest degree. Like you deserve support from this community, from any community, to feel like you're safe to share, what you're feeling. There's no judgment. And even further beyond this community as a whole, you deserve, like, a community of people to hold space beyond just a therapeutic container. Like, fellow people that are experiencing schizophrenia who are just, reflecting and sharing with each other that it's, just things that are unique to that experience. So, yeah, I hope you find that, dog. Because that's a crazy thing. Yeah. Trolls are gonna troll. I gotta go. Good luck to stream. Thanks, Ryan. From one Ryan to another, thank you. I'm probably going to exit this stream in the next like little bit. I'm like, it's late at night. I don't want to talk too loud for the people who are probably trying to sleep. It's been years since I've spoke to someone about these experiences who wasn't a medical professional. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Hmm. Well, maybe this is your maybe this is the moment, brother. This is like the sign from the universe, so to speak, of your like you're putting out that intention. Because this is the thing, is like, I really feel like the reason why we as humans, right, on a deeper level, it's important for us to give ourselves permission to put ourselves out there, to speak our truth. A lot of what I promote on this channel, right? Authentically communicate, even when it's difficult, and even when you feel like it's uncomfortable. Just be like, you know what? I'm struggling with something, and I want to be transparent and be real with this. The reason why that's important is because we're all human. We're all human. We're all struggling with something. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to feel like, you know, we're going through some crazy stuff. And I think the more we're allowing ourselves to put out that energy into the universe, but you know what? I'm not alone. I feel like, we as humans, we are collectively going through a lot. Then hopefully the universe will guide you to people that will honor what you're feeling and kind of, surround you by a community. Understands? Yeah. I only teach guitar. I only teach guitar. Interesting. I don't. Well, this channel, what I mean by that is this is a channel where I teach guitar. I do many things. I do meditative sound journeys. And as a whole, I actually do content where I also teach dance. I do many things, but yeah, I don't technically teach anything. I'm a YouTuber, bro. I'm a content creator. Yeah. I have a good mate with schizophrenia. I feel understanding spiritual, psychological awareness could help very much. Hmm. I think that's exactly right, Environ. Like, I really feel like, because schizophrenia or not, right? For those that are experiencing a mental disorder of any sort, a pathology of any sort, it's like, it does all come down to, like, if a person is in perfect health or a person is experiencing a mental disorder, we all are going to experience various realms of distortions of dysregulated health. It's almost like you and I equally, all of us, we are susceptible to dysregulated health. And it's important to honor our health, to realize that, you know, all these little things that are impacting our health seriously matter. There is, and honestly, in this modern world, like, this is the thing that I like to return to is in modern 2026, we're all addicted to smartphones, we're addicted to social media, we are surrounded by malicious and manipulative programming. It's actually not a surprise that a lot of us are struggling, we're suffering with mental health, with spiritual health, with psychological health, with physiological health. So basically, what I'm saying is it's the normality to have a very dysregulated relation with health. We should do everything in our power to continue to try to return to a regulated state of health, to honor that, to root ourselves. So, yes, I think Environ's right. The more you learn to return to honor your health, honor your spiritual growth, your psychological growth, just these basic fundamental things, honor that, nourish yourself, love yourself. These are things that are exclusive to all of us, or not, yeah, yeah, not exclusive to all of us, then that will 100%, I'm sure, is going to help your experience with your schizophrenia. I think that's a really key thing. Good question. Good question, Connor. Very good question. But I guess you're not going to be around long enough to figure that out, brother. I'll see you in 24 hours. Yeah. Greetings from Germany. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Blessings from Canada. That's why it's good to have supportive, safe community. That's exactly right, Rai. Like, a lot of this comes down to, like, truly on the deepest right. This is the thing I've actually reflected on a lot these last few years is a lot of things in life really does come down to continuously attracting, cultivating healthy community. Like, a lot of, basically, there's so much fragmentation, so much disconnect that can occur when we isolate ourselves. I know this for a fact, intimately. I'm an identical twin, right? And I'm really appreciative for my relationship with my twin, but surely over the years, over so many dimensions of life, I'm like a very, what's the word? I'd say hyper individualistic. I'm the kind of quintessential example of a person that has difficulty asking for help, at least historically. I've always looked at myself thinking I'm the one that needs to solve all these problems. I'm the one that has the answers. And only in the years that have come, as the years have unraveled, where I've really realized the powerful role of receiving support, receiving help, receiving community, receiving love, in every context of what it is, that is a life-changing thing. That, again, I'm in the same boat for many years. It was really difficult to understand how to receive help, how to receive support in the simplest right. And the key thing that I think I'm trying to articulate is you deserve, like, you to Floyd, to anybody that's listening in general, right? You deserve a healthy, nourishing, abundant community. You deserve beautiful support. You deserve to be cherished and valued by the people in your life. Familial context, by a community of people. This is what you deserve. Now, this might not be necessarily what you have and receive, but this is just a core belief that I think is important to instill, right? Interesting. That's cool. Hmm. Well, honestly, brother, I feel it like again, the simplest piece is I really hope I think there's gotta be like to Hunter, there's gotta be support groups, dog. Like a support group that's just like people that experience like identical, they feel the same way. They're just like they know that these experiences are so difficult for anyone else to empathize and understand, but you'll find, there are people that do, you're not alone. Like people that do understand what you're going through and can relate and empathize to you. These people do exist, and I feel like that's, I don't know, it's got to be there, brother. Amina Afrika. Interesting. Well, I appreciate you resonating. Find me in the daytime when I'm rocking out and full of caffeine, and I would love to share deeper with you why this channel is called Ashay. But that's cool. That's really cool that you're drawn to this channel. Let's be called Ashay, because that word means a lot to me. It's a very ancient, very sacred word that actually is really there's a powerful connection to why this channel is called Ashay. But yeah, it's all deeply, it's connected to how this channel is. I work in healthcare. I'm a nursing student. I know two individuals with a condition who have made strides, really taken their life back. I send you love and light. Mm, that's magic. Thank you so much for being here, Rai Rai Brown. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because that's the core thing is like, there's so many ways we can see and understand this, but it's like the deepest sense is, yeah, we as humans, we're not alone. Like there are people that have gone through exactly what you're going through, and in various contexts, not just with Floyd, with Hunter. It's like, there are people that have gone through, that have genuinely like dealt with a lot of these situations, like in the millions of people, and they've conquered these things. They've, thrived in these things, and it's just important to realize that that exists, right? It may not make sense, but whoa, just drop B tuning. It's not really working for that. Friend is a priestess, and she says, Shay, I've always thought it meant peace be with you. Interesting. Hmm. Ashay actually has many different meanings, but yeah, the fundamental, like it's a affirmation. It means like I understand. Like in the simplest right, it's an affirmation. It means like I understand what you are saying. Like I truly understand. But it also in the Yoruba Africans, it has like a deeper context. Like it means like I honor you, and it means like it's like the energy behind spiritual practices and rituals. It has like a deep, deep connotation, a very powerful word. Like it's almost like it's similar to like what would people would call prana or chi. Like a shay is like it's a life force energy. It's like a, yeah, it's a powerful word. Beautiful, beautiful. She says, it is the end of conversations. Ah, that's magic. Honestly, well, it's the thing is, yeah, it's got a very beautiful context in a lot of Brazilian cultures, in Yoruba African cultures, in French, in ancient like Swedish, or not Swedish, sorry, Scandinavian. It's a very like it's an ancient word. Like it's used in many different cultures. For me personally, I actually never heard of the word until, for whatever reason, I did a chonga ceremony about about 6 7 years ago. I've done chonga a number of times, and the second time I did chonga, I was just sitting, at this viewpoint, staring at the mountains, meditating for a few hours. And I remember, yeah, just looking at the sunrise or the sunset, watching the clouds, just feeling a deep reverence and love for life. And I remember just exhaling and just saying, I didn't know exactly why, I just was connected. I remember feeling like a very deep reverence and love for almost like a romanticization for the divine, after this Changa experience. It was like a form of DMT. And then I just said Ashe, like just Ashe. And I didn't know exactly what that word meant. I didn't really understand what it is, but fast forward, a while, like a year later, I decided to call this, I desired my fire performance name, Ashe. That's what I desired to call it. And I made this YouTube channel. And I called it Ashe. I changed my profile picture to that handstand fire prop thing. And then I realized later that I wanted to be my brand. I thought it was like it was a larger vision. And then I learned what Ashe meant, and it actually made a lot of sense. Now, I feel very deeply connected to that word. And yeah, I feel very blessed, to have come across it. It's in Voodoo Condom Santeria, center of the world. Comadonna Center, as you said. That's magic. Yeah, it's honestly, again, that's the thing. It's a very mysterious ancient word that I've really like connected with, and I don't even like understand the deepest context. Like I have a connection to it and I understand the brief context, but the more I understand about what Ashe means, and the more I crystallize my vision with this channel, with the intention of that word, of all these different domains of what, because Ashe is basically what I'll be perfectly forthcoming. There's many different intentions of what this channel is, but in the simplest right, it's it's about, for me, it's about the sacred context in music. It's about connecting with the sacred context in music. That's what this channel, Ashe, is in the deepest right. It's about letting people return and revive the sacred context in music, connecting to the core resonance patterns. As I design meditative sound journeys. I've been doing this for years now. For unconsciously, I just started doing this like 4 years ago. I had a partner. She was like a sound healer, a yogi. She did like yin yoga healing, and she basically wanted me to perform meditative journeys for her thing. And I started doing sound healing randomly. And yeah, long story short, I fell in love with connecting with music in this way. I've been a musician for about 16, 17 years, but the last 4 years I've been on this quest of creating this very ancient sound. And a lot of it had to do with, also I've been connecting, with the pan flute and sound healing instruments. And it's just been a thing that I've noticed the more I've connected with music in this very unique way that I never intended to, it just happened organically, the more I've realized how powerful this relationship with music is. And it goes further. This is like also infusing in my vision as a YouTuber, as creating a community that revolves around this intention. One that's expressing and embodying authentic presence, that is bringing this level of authentic presence into this. Interesting. Originally about singing. She was ordained in a ceremony. It's a beautiful head wrap and gown. Wow. Very kind and spiritual, quite indeed. Quite indeed. Also very versed in a lot of esoteric knowledge. Various religions. Wow. Wow. That's magical. Honestly, to Rai, that's very beautiful. I'm to this day, I feel so astonished and deeply reverent for feminine energy as a whole. Like I've been on this quest the last few years, as I've been developing really healthy partnerships, and I just feel continuously just so deeply, enamored for the feminine, like feminine energy as a whole, the different embodiments of feminine energy within woman, within all these different things. Like it takes me on a quest where, yeah, I love feminine energy. It's incredible. That's very beautiful. That reminds me, like what you speak of, Rai, that reminds me of a few women actually in my life that are gravitating in my sphere, like a few very specific types of very like spiritually connected, like I would just say they're very almost like angel kind of priestess energy, that want to collaborate, like they want to connect professionally and also romantically, but it's like yeah, it's beautiful. Attaché to Jen. Hello. Hello. We are amazingly created to balance each other out. Literally yin and yang. Mm. Wow. That's so cool, Rai Rai. That's beautiful. I'm actually a twin. So the polarity, like the contrast of yin and yang, like in people, is like a deep, deep part of my life, you know. I've lived my entire life continuously riding those waves of polarity, of the contrast of another human being. So when I meet human beings that have that, I think that's really cool. Yeah. Is this hat custom? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's actually, yeah, I posted the hat maker, her Etsy, but I asked her to design this. It's basically a top hat. You can't really see the color palette, but it's a dark, rich, like garnet auburn, and it's distressed. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I had it designed a few weeks back, and she's really dope. Yeah. I love the hat maker. Mm. What kind of music do I play? I mean, you can check out my channel, but I basically play a lot of like I play a lot of meditative meditative sound journeys, and I do like improv, or do like progressive fingerstyle, a lot of stuff. Like right now, my guitar is kind of, let's see. A lot of fingerstyle stuff. I play like piano, pan flute, electric acoustic. I love to blend lots of worlds of resonance in music. It's very late right now, though. What's under your headscarf? Lots of hair, friend. Lots of hair. Nice. My buddy plays like that. That's rad. That's beautiful. Yeah. Exposed. This is not a character, bro. This is literally how I am all the time, always. Like, genuinely. Not even, yeah. I'm a performance artist, brother. I've literally been a guitarist. Like, I'm a guitarist, freaking, yeah, acrobat, tutter. This is literally the exact same way I am always. But welcome to this channel, dog. Yeah. That's dope as fuck. I got dreads as a white dude. Yo, that's dope. That's dope, man. I mean, yeah, that's blessings to you and your twin. Must be a crazy experience to feel this, to feel the person. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really powerful experience being a twin. Like genuinely, that's probably too late to play this. I don't want to like wake up the roommates and people that are sleeping. Yeah. They're born with you, an empath, and it would be wild to have that connection. It is honestly, yeah. For many years of my life, I'm a very empathetic person myself. I'm not sure I'm an empath, but I 1000%, I felt for many years of my life, it's a very conflicting, very like triggering, very intense thing, a lot of projection. It's like, as a full grown adult, my brother is also obviously a full grown adult. We're emotionally mature, we're spiritually aware to various degrees. So, yeah, no, I think as much as it's been difficult for many years being a twin, it is a incredible blessing. Like it's an extraordinary blessing. I could never even put into like words or perspective fully, but it's beautiful. It's intense. It's an intense experience. It's very intense. Lefty. No, this is flipped. From what I understand from people observing my streams, this is flipped, yeah. Hmm. Magic. Very cool. Am I German? I'm not German, yes. I'm Ukrainian and English. Talk about that hat. I would love to, dog. I mean, It's this. It's a hat, bruv. I designed it. Yeah, it's like a top hat that I had them sort of shorten this part so it more resembles, just kind of like a 18th century hat. It's almost like a 80s rock star hat. And then I basically, yeah, I wear it on this angle because I like the way it sort of like balances the brim that's flipped. And yeah, working in healthcare, I had to learn to shut down the feelings I sense of others. My job was making me sick, anxious, a roller coaster of everyone's feelings. Even the physical pain. That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, I speak of this very openly. I'm a YouTuber, and obviously it's a very, very different realm, but I do various other sorts of like things like performance art. I work in film, but yeah, what I'm simply saying is I actually kind of jest about this, but this is true is boundaries is everything. Like boundaries. And strangely enough, being a YouTuber, like if you want to develop a successful YouTube channel as a streamer particularly, you have to have a masterful understanding of boundaries, your boundaries particularly. You're just honoring your own energetic boundaries, your psychological boundaries. You have to be very good at navigating those kind of waters. And 1000%, of course, that reflects in everything in the real world. The ability to navigate boundaries, to honor your boundaries. Yeah. It's intense, but I think it's interesting because as a YouTuber, it's like this is like the forefront of it. Sometimes this is like a chill stream. When I'm daytime things, I'm sometimes juggling thousands of people, like as a whole. I'm juggling like 40 at a time or whatever, but it's thousands where it's like I gotta be really discerning. I gotta understand my intention with my channel. I gotta understand how to navigate, the waters of boundaries effectively. And when you do that, then it's easy. But if you can't or if you don't, then it can be very disorienting, very difficult. But that being said, yeah, you get good at it. And honestly, I'm a new YouTuber too, so, you know, some people have much more massive communities to juggle. My friend is half German. You look a lot like him, though. I thought you were him at first. Just think of that. Nice. That's tight. Again, I've been told I look like a lot of people, and it's all high praise. It's all high praise. So dope. All right. Well, I think what time is it right here? I think it's nice. Okay. Damn, it's late. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. Beautiful. I also took a nap, so gonna check with your music. Nice. Yeah, I have a massive I have lots of unreleased music and stuff I'm working on, but yes, I've released some nice little sound journeys and little blips on my YouTube channel. But yes, tomorrow I'll definitely be doing streams for a period, and I'll just definitely do lots of like beautiful live improv. But yeah. Well, I think with this, we're probably going to exit this live stream. Yeah, I didn't realize it's 1 o'clock, but I mean, my sleep schedule is pretty shifted anyways. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you guys for chiming in. Thank you, Rai Rai. You seem dope as fuck. Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate you. No, it's honestly, it's been we have some awesome people in this community so far. Yeah, it's a blessing. And also, it's you guys are a reflection of me. We are mirroring each other, and I really love to bring, just people that are kindred spirits. People that are open-hearted, open-minded, passionate people. That's what I really love to attract in this community, and it's cool. It's great when you set that intention, you set the tone, especially in a YouTube community because it's just such a massive portal. But anyways, so thank you so much for chiming in. Outro time. If this content resonates with you, feel free to follow this channel. I teach music, I teach guitar, and I do meditative sound journeys among various things. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Remember to honor yourself and honor each other. Thank you. Bless.